Hello, welcome to Talk to Downtown. My name is Courtney Wood. I am the Economic Development Director for the Downtown Stockton Alliance, which is the 501c6 nonprofit organization serving downtown Stockton. And this is Talk to Downtown, the webinar series intended to connect our business owners, property owners, and visitors with organizations who can answer their questions. Today's topic is going to be how to support local businesses while social distancing. And I am working from home, as you can see, because of the COVID-19 situation. The DSA has made a few changes to operations. So those of us who can work from home are working from home, but we are still available by email and phone to answer any questions that you might have. And I also want to share with you that if you are a small business looking for financial assistance during this time, the Downtown Stockton Alliance has created a webpage. It is www.downtownstockton.org/COVID-19 resources. So go ahead and click on it, go there, and you'll have an outline of resources all the way up to the federal government, the CARES Act, the Paycheck Protection Program, and going down to the local level, which with Stockton Strong, which is the website that the city of Stockton has put out there with COVID-19 resources. So with that, if you have never tuned in for a Talk to Downtown before, it starts out with me introducing our guest, which today is Wes Rhea from Visit Stockton. And I will ask him a few questions that I have for him about how we can support our small businesses. And then we will open it up to viewers to go ahead and ask your questions. And with that, I would like to introduce Wes Rhea. Thank you so much, Wes, for being here today. Can you please tell me a little bit about what you do at Visit Stockton and some of the programs that you guys have going on right now for small businesses?
Hi, Courtney. Thank you again for having me here today remotely, as we are, of course, also closed. We're on our third week of remote working. So I'm the CEO at Visit Stockton. We are the official destination marketing organization for the city of Stockton. And basically what that means is we are the marketing and promotion arm for Stockton. We've been around since 1979, so we just last year had our 40th anniversary of marketing and promoting our city. And I basically oversee a team of 7 other team members that do all of these great things for our city and work on the strategic direction on behalf of our hotel partners and our board of directors. We are funded by a tourism business improvement district, and so that means every time someone stays in a Stockton hotel, we receive an assessment that was levied by the hotels themselves. It's not a tax put on by the city. It's a self-levy that the hotels do that comes to us and funds our activities. So as you can imagine right now, our hotels are severely impacted by this crisis and without the normal business that we have. And so this has been really challenging for them. And of course, it will have a long-term implication on our budget. Right now, our focus has been really on the communication aspect. We got onto this pretty early and started communicating with our partners, but now we're trying to work on some of our programs now, supporting retail and dining, and then of course we're working on some pride campaigns too, really trying to rally and remind people that we are all in this together. This is different than a lot of crises that cities have gone through. It's not like a natural disaster or some kind of terrorist activity. This is something that every city and every community throughout the nation is doing. So hotels in every city are seeing the same impact, and visitors bureaus in every other city, a lot of them are faring a lot worse than us. So we are definitely, our hearts go out to all those people. And of course, we've had a long relationship with downtown Stockton. Our offices have been in downtown since our very beginning, and we work closely with the Downtown Stockton Alliance. And downtowns are really the kind of the heart of any city. That they're where the uniqueness of a city is. It's a lot of the historical assets are there, and for us, of course, all of our biggest attractions, not all of our biggest attractions, but with the arena and the ballpark and the waterfront, I think add a lot. And of course, you don't see a lot of chains in downtown, so you have a lot of the mom and pop shops and businesses downtown. So we're big fans of downtown, and we're glad that we're all going to get through this together. We'll all be bigger and better and stronger and hopefully smarter once we get through this.
Excellent. Thank you. So for those of you just joining us, again, we are talking about how to support small businesses while social distancing. And I have Wes Rhea from Visit Stockton on the phone, the CEO. And so now I'm going to go ahead and ask you some questions I have for you, Wes.
Okay.
So what would you say is the best way that the community can support Stockton-based businesses right now?
Gosh, there are quite a few ways. Those mom and pop businesses, those family owned businesses that are struggling, a lot of them aren't operating now. So I think there's a few ways to look at that. So on the restaurant side, of course, we're really focused on promoting takeout and delivery of food from local restaurants. So that is available. And, that doesn't it's also our local owned restaurants, but there are some chains that are out there. And again, they're keeping people employed. So, typically we're not a big supporter of chains. I mean, we believe in them. We understand what they do to our community, but we're really about local businesses. But in this crisis, we're about everybody. And it's really down to the hourly employees, keeping them busy, right? Cooking and serving and delivering. So, restaurants, that's probably the easiest thing to do, right? They're easy to support in some aspects because some of them are still operating. While we have quite a few still closed, you can still support a lot of them. The ones that are closed, there could be opportunities to do things also, and I'll talk about that in a second. On the retail side, it's a little harder hit because, of course, most of our retail is closed. Some of them are operating online shops, Etsy shops, or other things like that. We have a shop local page on our website that kind of features some of the ways you could support local businesses through buying gift cards or shopping online. Gift cards is another one. There's a site called helpmainstreet.com, and if you put in your zip code, it'll show you all the local Stockton businesses that have online gift cards that you could buy, so you can buy now and shop later. And some of them are hairdressers, and some of them are local shops on the Miracle Mile or in downtown. So that's a way you could do it. And then, for those businesses that aren't open or aren't operating, don't offer gift cards, don't offer online shopping, I still think there are ways you can help. And I really think that it's a good time to think about all of those local businesses that you miss right now and making sure you're following them on social media, making sure you're engaging in their social media posts. Maybe it's sending them a message of encouragement. But also, there are opportunities to give them reviews. So maybe you give them a Facebook review, or maybe you give them a Yelp review or a Google business review. So I think there are a lot of ways to support businesses in this time that don't involve even spending money. I think there are ways that you could just be there for them. And if it's, like I said, sending them a message or writing them a review, that can go a long way in their reputation management moving forward. And then with social media, I think people who are involved in the marketing side understand that if we don't continue to engage in social media posts, those posts don't get seen, and those small businesses don't get the visibility that they need to continue to be able to survive once they get out of this. So I think social media is a great opportunity to share, like, and comment, and even message these businesses that you want to support. So I think, while it can seem dire, there are a lot of ways that people can support local businesses.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Um, and say, for instance, if I'm a small business, what can I do to kind of take advantage of the resources that you have on your website, like Shop Local or maybe Dine Stockton? How can I take advantage of that?
There are a lot of ways to reach us. So we have two distinct places we're listing businesses. DineStockton.com, which takes you to a page on our website, is our restaurant promotion page supporting delivery and takeout. We have over 110, 115 restaurants on there now. So there is a page, a form, a link on that page to fill out a form to do that. And I encourage anybody to do that. We want to definitely make sure that we are getting as many restaurants on there and just stay in touch with all the changes that are going on right now in relation to that. So there's a form on that page. You can do that to get your restaurant listed. If you're a small business, we have what they call it's the support local, shop local page, and you can find that linked off our coronavirus information page. And there's a registration link on that, and you can fill out that form and let us know what you're doing. And it could be nonprofits too. So if you want to, there's ways we can support nonprofits. You can be listed there. But like for instance, we have Arthur Murray Dance Center. We have boutiques, shoe stores, flowers and delivery, Sky Zone, little things like that. So all kinds of different places that you could support, and we're looking to continue to grow that. And then lastly, we have a online virtual events calendar. So if local businesses are doing things like cooking demos or arts and craft demos or story times or anything like that, anything that you're doing virtually on a regularly scheduled basis, you can submit to our virtual events calendar. So if you just search Stockton Virtual Events, you'll see that calendar. You can find it on our website, visitstockton.org, and get your event up there, and so we can help promote that too. So there's lots of ways, and again, you can also reach out to us via other channels, of course, Instagram messaging, Facebook messaging. We have a contact us form on our website. So there's a lot of ways to reach us while we are closed during this crisis. So yeah, it's easy to get your business up. Just and if you know somebody, I encourage you to share that information with them.
Great. When it comes to events, I know many events are being canceled, but are you noticing how many of those events are just transitioning to kind of an online format versus being canceled altogether? Do you have any kind of information about that?
What we're seeing on our virtual events is more of like a unique opportunity to keep your visibility for your business, or just to kind of keep information flowing. A lot of the events that we have lost are lost. You're seeing like the Ducky Derby, which is in downtown Stockton. Child Abuse Prevention Council is going to do a virtual one. Usually they drop 1,000 ducks into the channel, and it's always a fun event on Public Safety Day. But unfortunately, some of the events, or most of the events that are getting canceled, are just very difficult to do in a virtual space. And so I was glad to see Ducky Derby do that, but the reality is most of our virtual events are kind of new things. It's the Library and Parks and Recs Association, the Office of Education, different musicians, those kind of things that are trying to do things to keep themselves busy, and just to provide some resources for locals. But unfortunately, a lot of the events that we're losing, festivals, fairs, arena events, and concerts, it's just difficult to do those in a virtual space. We probably still have another 4 weeks of this shelter in place, so I would imagine that you may start to see some folks trying to do that. I've seen the Hispanic Chamber did a mixer that was on Zoom that was virtual.
Oh, wow.
So I think people are going to get more creative in their and the longer you have to think about it, right? It takes some time to really figure this out.
Adjust.
But yeah, I think people were trying to scramble to get things organized, and so I think you'll see more in the next week or two come out. But festivals, events, that's a tough one.
Great. And so as far as like consumer behavior, have you noticed any changes in like your visits to your website or social media activity? Have you noticed any like changes in behavior online that maybe businesses could take advantage of?
Because it's interesting. I've been looking at a lot of our analytics for our website, and in the last 30 days, year over year, we're actually up, and a lot of that is just because of our coronavirus information page. We've been we got that up very early, and we were a resource. We still rank high on Google, I think above the city's page for that information. So, it's a little misgiving. People are getting there. But it's not really true analytics that are going to, be beneficial for our partners. So yeah, we're seeing obviously a lot more local traffic. A lot of our traffic is driven to our website by our marketing efforts, and of course, we've cut off all of our marketing efforts. We're not promoting the city, of course, because we don't want anybody to visit at this time. So right now, our dining page and our coronavirus pages are our top pages for visitation, and even on social media, a lot of that effort in the past has been paid. And now we're really trying to talk about information around the crisis and our dining event. Our dining event has been really great. Our Takeout Tuesdays that first was started from a national level, but now Visit California has really stepped on to be a Takeout Tuesday. That's really gained a lot of steam. And we're trying to share a lot of good news, a lot of what partners are doing. So it's a little different than we normally do. And of course, our blog content has changed, right? We're usually talking about things to do for families or, arts and culture. And now we're talking about things to do from home. So we have two blogs. One is how to experience Stockton from home, and so we have lots of virtual tours. We've had virtual tours of the city for years. Now is a great time to experience those, but we're also sharing other resources, other things that people can do from home, and then we have another one that's kind of like a day itinerary of things you could do for while you're staying at home. So a lot has changed in our social media and our website, and a lot of it's driven by this crisis. And so that'll obviously pivot a little bit when we're on our way out, and then get back to normal, hopefully by fall.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I want to touch on, because I know the Dine Stockton is the page that you have dedicated to helping our restaurants. I want to kind of touch on that because downtown has over 40 restaurants. It's a big part of the economy here. What kind of impact are you seeing the COVID-19 situation have on Stockton's restaurant sector in particular?
I think we all realize it's probably one of the largest impacts that we have in Stockton. They restaurants. I don't think people realize all the time that they are large employers of people. A lot of people have their first jobs at restaurants. A lot of people make careers in restaurants. It's the number one thing visitors do when they come to a community. Restaurants support a lot of our community organizations, our little leagues, and other fundraisers with gift cards and donations. And I think a lot, you see the National Restaurant Association has put a statistic out that 30% of all restaurants won't make it through the crisis. I'm hopeful that we will fare better than that, but I think it's still too early to see. But the impact is huge, and I think a lot of the activity you're seeing now with takeout delivery is it's not a profit thing for restaurants. I don't think anybody should see it like that. I think it's comes from two things. It's breaking even, right? You've seen some restaurants that have stopped takeout delivery, and even in downtown, because it costs more to do than they need to pay the employees and pay the mortgage. So I think they're getting hit hard. I think the ones that are operating now are doing it for two reasons. Again, to kind of break even, to pay their rent or mortgage, but also to keep employees employed, to keep people going. I mean, it's tough. Restaurants, we have hotels that have laid off 75, 80 people
Wow.
that are down to bare bones. And so restaurants are the same. So you can only keep so many people going. But one, it's an essential service, right? Not everybody cooks, and not everybody cooks well, and not everybody can. So I think it definitely is essential, but also I think restaurants are doing it just to one, keep their visibility out there, keep their name out there. So when this is all done, they're still visible. To kind of keep a few people employed, their key employees, but also help pay the rent. But in no way do I think that these restaurants are making a profit. And I've even seen some downtown, like Cast Iron, who are really pivoting and not necessarily focusing on a regular takeout delivery schedule, but how can they give back, right? Stay visible by giving back. So they're doing their GoFundMe and their Venmo campaign to provide burritos to healthcare workers. And so I think, a lot of folks are doing that too. I think Isleys has done some of that for fire departments because they're not doing takeout delivery. So, I think everybody's got to kind of make that decision on their own. But statistically, restaurants will probably be one of the worst hit industries. And it's going to take a while to recover. And so, we'll be obviously focused a lot on that during the recovery, and really try to have one of the best Stockton restaurant weeks ever come January.
Great. So that's just another reason why it's important for us, if we can, to try to support them if we're able to ourselves.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so what other resources can you recommend for visitors or businesses or residents or our property owners at this time? Are there any other resources you can recommend to people?
I think there's different resources for everybody, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
it really depends on who you are, what situation you are. I think Stockton Strong is doing a great job of trying to get some of those resources that are diverse. If you need help with food or childcare or all of these things, I think Stockton Strong or the United Way are great resources for those. Small businesses, I would just encourage that the Chamber of Commerce has been great at sending out emails. There are a lot of resources for small businesses out there. I think it can be overwhelming.
Yes, yes.
There's no doubt between the CARES Act and what it offers for small businesses, but there's free money out there. I mean, there's a forgivable loan that's $10,000 that any business can get. I would encourage everybody to do that. You do not have to take out the full loan. Payroll Protection Act is something to consider, and some may consider taking debt on. So I think there's a ton of resources when it comes to that. All the chambers, the regular Greater Stockton Chamber, alongside with the Hispanic Chamber and the Asian Chamber, are sharing those resources with their constituents, along with Downtown Stockton Alliance, and we are. So I would encourage businesses to look at those. But I would look for the people at home to look. Social media's got a great amount of things going on. There's a lot of stuff to kill time. Our virtual events calendar it's got a lot of stuff. I think it's also just a great time to pick up a hobby, do all those projects you normally haven't done. Those things that, people are learning yoga and learning to speak another language. And, if there's ever been a time when you have free time, it is now. And I also think take care of yourself. I think mental health is something that we are talking a lot about right now. You'll see some of that in our weekly COVID email that'll go out today. Talking about resources the Pride Center is offering, and Team Red, White, and Blue are doing for veterans. So I think we got to remember that we're not used to being at home all this time. And, even for our employees, I think about it, our team is working from home, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, there's a lot of distractions at the office. People come in, you do water cooler talk, you visit other people. And so it breaks up your day. So you just got to remember to step away and give yourself some self-care. I think there are just a lot of resources on there, but just don't forget. I think we just got to remember to take care of ourselves, take care of our families, and we will all get through this. But I think there are so many resources between our pages, your pages, Stockton Strong, City Economic Development's got a great page. So I just encourage you to get out there and explore those and reach out. If you can't find what you're looking for, somebody out there has the answer.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. So how can people get in touch with you if they have further questions or they want to learn more about Visit Stockton?
If you're on social media, I think the best way to do that is through one of our social media pages. Direct message us through Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. We are on those channels all the time. I think those are great ways to do it. We do have a contact us page on visitstockton.org. So you can reach out to us. It gives you a little more opportunity to give a long form answer on there, and you can put in your email or your phone number. So that is a secure way to do that. You can also call one of our phone numbers. We are responding to our voicemails. If you need to leave a detailed message, we'll make sure it gets to the right person on our team. I think those are kind of the primary ways we're communicating now. We're still there for everybody if you need us.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and open it up to the viewers. Please type in your questions. I see already we do have one question, so I'm going to go ahead and ask it. This question is, in your opinion, Wes, what do you believe are the long-term effects on local events at the arena and the Bob Hope?
That's a great question, and we're talking about this a lot, right? From our standpoint, when we're looking at how we're going to market promote the city, we've got to think about the mindset of what people are going to be comfortable doing, right? Right now, you can't imagine being in an arena, 6 inches away from somebody. It's just not something that is going to be acceptable. And really, there could be government restrictions. As we get out of this, you may see that our restrictions in a month from now get loosened up to maybe it's not necessarily essential, but it's also we've got to maintain social distancing, right? So I don't imagine when we get out of this, we're all of a sudden going to be like, oh, back to normal.
No.
We're going to have to do social distancing, and just like you can't gather groups of. If you remember when we started this, it was like, okay, no more than 250 people. Oh, wait, no more 10 people. Now, no more gathering. I
Right.
think you're going to see those restrictions in place. So I think we're really going to have to pay attention to what the governments are saying, what we can do. And we've got events on. We've got our Brew Fest coming up in August. We're looking at a lot. But when it comes to the arena, the ballpark, minor league baseball's already said nothing's happening in April. I think we already got that figured out, right? Major league baseball is even looking. There's been conversations that baseball may not start till July. So I think it's all going to be wait and see. But I don't think you would expect to see anything in our arenas and our ballparks until at the earliest June.
Mhm.
I think that's probably an easy guess. I just think it's going to be what people are comfortable with. We're like for example, our Brew Fest, which is outdoors in August. We're feeling like we're hopeful, but it really depends. If you're selling tickets for events, you're just going to have to realize that you may not sell as many tickets as you want because people may not be comfortable gathering. There are definitely going to be people out there who are ready to gather, and there are going to be people who are not. But we're just going to have to figure out what that looks like, and also what it looks like what the government is saying.
Right. So it seems like long-term implications.
I think there's definitely going to be, and again, you're going to see a big push for people pushing events into the fall, right? Because people like some of these events, they make money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that the arena and the Bravo Theater, they're having a lot of conversations about September and October and November and trying to get as much activity because these promoters need to get events done. For the year, they need to recoup some of their losses during the shutdown. It's just going to be, will people be willing to go out and buy tickets and sit next to somebody in a theater? Because it's hard to social distance in those places. You can't. I don't think you can sell tickets, or can you set up a ticket system where every other seat is empty, or that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I think it's this, and maybe you may see events happen that have, maybe some of the sports will come back in the fall that have no audience. That still could be the case, but I think there's a lot to be seen. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting time, and some of these events, like Feast of the Fox, which is downtown,
Mm-hmm.
we were hoping to push that out to the fall, but the reality is so many people were trying to do stuff in the fall that just wasn't going to work out for us, and so we had to cancel it for this year. And so I think you're obviously going to see probably more cancellations than postponements on a lot of these events, and I think they're still going to see events not happen that are still on the books for August, September, and October.
I agree with you. Okay, so I have a second question. How does sharing a post on social media help a small business?
Well, the way social media works, and it's not as transparent as it seems. But when a business posts something on social media, say like Visit Stockton, we have 55,000 followers on our Facebook page. If I post something, Facebook tells me how many people see it. If I post something on an average, I can tell you sometimes it's like 1,000 to 1,500 people see that post. So that never make an assumption because a local business has 1,000 followers that 1,000 people see it.
Mm-hmm.
So what Facebook does is that they look at the amount of people that engage in that post and share that post and like that post, and they see that engagement. They go, hey, this is something people like. Let's show it to more people. And so anytime you share, like, or comment on a Facebook post or any social media post for that matter, those Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, look at that and say, this is interesting content to the people who are seeing it. Maybe we need to show it to more people and get more engagement on it. So when you share a small business post, more people in your feed see it because your friends see your activity. More eyeballs on that post makes Facebook see that post as valuable, or Instagram or Twitter, and they organically show that to more people. And so the more people that see it, the better it is for that business, and it just keeps that business in front of people. So it's very important because I know a lot of times I'll see stuff I like on Facebook, but I don't even hit the like button. I'm like, oh, I like that. And I think now is a very important time to remind you that like button matters, that share really matters, because shares are everything. But everything helps, likes, comments, and shares. It really makes a difference in the algorithms that all these social media channels use, because the reality is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, those are, a lot of them are they're really paid marketing opportunities for businesses. They're not really social media opportunities, but this is the opportunity now to make that organic reach go a little farther by sharing those business posts.
Excellent. We're looking for engagement, interaction.
Right, right.
Awesome. Okay, so another question that's popping up is, um, so you kind of touched on this a little bit before, but if there's anything else you can share, please let me know. It says, what are some of the entertainment things that people can access while staying at home?
Yeah, I would. We were just talking about this as our team the other day because we've always taken for granted our virtual tours, and you can go through all kinds of stuff in the city of Stockton. You can run around the bases at the Stockton ballpark on our virtual tour.
Oh, wow.
You can go all around the arena; it's empty, yeah, and actually the ballpark was full when we filmed that virtual tour, so you can actually run around the bases in a virtual tour. You can go around Lincoln Center and the Miracle Mile, and you can do a virtual tour of the Hagen Museum. And so there are so many cool places that you can explore. I mean, it is amazing. Once you start getting in the weeds on our virtual tour, you could really get down to a lot of places. So that's one thing I think is just cool. If you want to kill some time, go check out our virtual tour. But I think our virtual events calendar is going to be the next thing that people really look to find things to do from home. But I think that there's so many great organizations doing things. The Children's Museum is doing great content. I think even the symphony I saw has been showing symphony performances. So I think it's, again, going back and finding these things on our virtual events calendar and through our website and through our blog. Again, we have that blog, Things to Do at Home. So if you go to our homepage at visitstockton.org, you just scroll down past the header, you'll see about 4 or 5 blocks, and they'll talk about our COVID information pages. We have a page that talks about cancellations and closures. It's not all encompassing because there's been so much now,
Right.
but it does have a lot of the key events on there, of course, like the Asparagus Festival and the County Fair and the large events that have been canceled. And but it also, on that homepage, you'll find links to our 2 blogs about finding things to do while you're staying at home.
Excellent.
And you can see our team is doing a great job on this post, sharing all the direct links during this live post.
I was seeing that.
Yeah, so they are busy. Robin's been busy on there sharing those links. And so there's one that's called, it's kind of a how to make your day at home epic, and also things to do from home, how to experience Stockton from home. So all those links have been shared in the comments of this feed. So I just think it's a great way to do it. So Robin's on it there.
You guys have an awesome team.
Busy.
Okay, so let's see if we've got a couple more questions. Okay, this crisis has caused a shift in how businesses do marketing, especially on social media. Are there any resources for them to learn how to market on social media during this time, or some general tips that you might have?
That's a great opportunity for a plug, right?
Yes.
First of all, there are a lot of free resources out there and a lot of great resources. I mean, I tell you, the world's the second largest search engine in the world is YouTube, and if there's not anything you can't learn on YouTube, right? But it's not a great place to go if you have questions during the presentation. But we are doing social media training, and actually we did one already, and you can find the link to that one on our coronavirus information page on visitstockton.org. But we have 2 more, and they are free for businesses or just anybody who would like to learn more about social media. And our next one will focus on the paid side of social media, because that's really where the true benefit of social media is. And we're doing those every Monday at 9 a.m. And you can sign up for those. Where can you sign up for those? It's visits. Boy, I couldn't tell you. We're going to put the link in the comments where to sign up for our social media virtual marketing seminars. And we'll do one next Monday at 9, and we'll do one the following Monday at 9. And they're done by our marketing partner that we work with, who actually came to town a couple years ago and did the social media boot camp. But Brian's done these online, and we were offering 3 one-hour sessions free to anybody to hone their skills in social media. So our first one is recorded, and they'll all be recorded and put on our coronavirus page. So thank you, Alex, for asking that question and giving me the opportunity to share that.
Excellent. That's a great free resource. I hope that all of our businesses take advantage of that. Awesome. Okay, so I have one more question, and it is, from Daniel Villa. I had an art exhibit planned for the fall before the stay-at-home ordinances. The event is due to take place downtown. Any suggestions on how to get folks to attend while maintaining proper social distancing, if the social distancing rules are still applied then? Or would you say it's better to postpone?
That's a great question. Honestly, I think in this moment, you're going to see a lot of hesitancy for people to want to do stuff, even once restrictions get lifted. The reality is, right now and for the next 30 days, you essential. You can only do stuff that's essential. So you can't do anything now as much as you want to do something. And once things start to lighten up and they do have more social distancing restrictions, but they still allow you to do stuff, I think any event is going to be impacted by people who don't feel comfortable. You're going to have older people, people who are health compromised, or people who just don't trust other people going out and being sick, right? Or businesses may not maintaining a clean environment. So I think anything that's going to be in the next couple months is going to be impacted. If you want to really have a successful showing, you wouldn't do it between now and June. Maybe you may want to look at July. Once we get into a little later, of course, we have Stockton Arts Week in October. So I would suggest any artist who's looking to do an exhibit, if you could wait till October, to use the marketing machine that'll be Visit Stockton Arts Week in October. And I think it's going to be a great opportunity for all the arts organizations that have had to postpone and put off to celebrate arts in Stockton during Stockton Arts Week. And that's the first part of October. And I'm sure you'll see a link coming up in this comment feed real soon. It's StocktonArtsWeek.com, so it's not that hard to figure out. But I would just encourage you, if you could wait till then, that would be a great opportunity. It would help Downtown Stockton Alliance, too, because we're always looking for a ton of events in downtown to do around Stockton Arts Week. And then we have the Collide Festival that is Weber Point that allows artists to display for free, too. So lots of opportunities coming up. If you can wait, I would suggest to do that, because right now I just don't think there's going to be a lot of priorities. And again, what I can tell you about what people are going to do once they get done being quarantined, a lot of it is going to be revolved in not being indoors at all. I think you're going to see a lot of push for outdoor activities. I think we're going to have to figure out how to manage that, right? Because we've already seen how California can't manage that at beaches and public places. But I think you're going to see a lot of people wanting to get outdoors and in open spaces where just the issue of social distancing is not there. So I think it'd be best to hold on.
Okay, great. Thank you for answering that question. And that seems to be all of the questions right now. So is there anything that you would just like to share that you haven't shared yet? Any last comments you might want to make?
No, I think I plugged our website quite enough. I appreciate the opportunity, but I think you just got to remember that this is not easy.
No.
Nobody's done this. We haven't been through this before. I just remind people to, if you can, stay connected. I've been doing some virtual happy hours with some friends of mine in the industry. We do it every Friday at 4:30. We get on Zoom. Everybody can get a free Zoom account you get 40 minutes. You can see faces. I think that's important. Think about self-care. And how this impacts everybody's mental health. There's nobody who's not untouched by how it impacts you being home, especially those with small children, school-age children at home. My gosh,
yes,
that's tough. I have a high schooler, and it's tough enough because some schools just were not prepared for this, and I think we're just getting used to that now. So I think remind people to take care of themselves. Look out for their neighbors and check into them. That could be a phone call or text or social media post. It doesn't require any visiting or any betraying of social distancing. But I just think there's lots of opportunities, and we are going to be stronger after that. Not every business is going to make it through. And some of us may have loved ones or friends that are greatly impacted by the illness. But I think what doesn't I think we'll get through this to be stronger community. And I think in the end, there's a lot of divisiveness, of course, in this community. And not in this community, but just in general, right? We always on one side or the other.
Right.
Hopefully, we'll see something like this unite us a little more. This is, nobody else is going to take care of Stockton except for Stocktonians. And we're a strong group of people, and we are all in this together. And I just remind folks that it won't be forever, but it's still going to be a while. I would imagine we're going to be into this into early May. So just be patient and do everything you can, like I mentioned, to help these businesses through social media, online, giving them reviews, supporting them with takeout and dine in, whatever you can do. Just see what you can. I see now, yeah, hairdressers delivering dye kits so that people can maintain their, hair color. So whatever you can do to be creative to help the economy, I think it's a great thing.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today, Wes. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are doing amazing things to help support our businesses. So thank you again for joining us here.
Thank you for the opportunity, and everybody stay healthy, be well, and thank you for your support of all of our activities out there. In the end, it's all going to be a better thing for everybody.
Thank you. And I would also like to thank you, viewers, for tuning in. This video is going to be uploaded to YouTube. At Downtown Stockton is our YouTube channel. And you're already following us on Facebook if you're watching this video. But you can also find us on Instagram at Downtown Stockton and Twitter at Downtown STKN. And I just want to do one final reminder about the COVID-19 resource page that the DSA has. So it is, again, downtownstockton.org/COVID-19 resources. And we'll link it in the comments below. But thank you so much for joining us today. And with that, I hope you are all going to be safe and healthy. And please have a great day downtown.